I do love discovering lesser known Christmas films. While I love the big players like Elf and It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street, I do thoroughly enjoy finding smaller films. And when I saw Christmas Inheritance on Netflix, I had to watch it, and I can say now with confidence that it's a nice Christmas film. It's not overly Christmas, which I think I was actually in the mood for that at the time, so I was a little bit disappointed in that sense, but it's a really warm, heartwarming film. This was released in 2017 and was directed by Ernie Barbarash and written by Dinah Engr. And the description from IMDb is as follows. To be the CEO, an heiress is challenged by her dad to deliver a Christmas letter in person to his ex-partner in their hometown, travelling by bus, incognito, and with only $100. Will she learn something from the people there? That description's a little bit wishy-washy. I don't know if I've ever said that phrase before. But to cut a very waffly story short, Ellen lives a very rich lifestyle. One day she will become the owner of her father's company, but her father wants to teach her the value of money and what's really important in life. So, on a shoestring budget, he sends her to his hometown to meet with her uncle to deliver a letter. And it's a very humbling trip. As I think the description at the top said there, yes, she has to get the bus. She's obviously used to very expensive flights with, service on tap. So it's quite a big shock to the system when you have this New York girl going to this remote town when there's only one taxi and no phone signal. It's obviously not the most unique story. There are a lot of films, particularly with Christmas films, where city women, usually they are women. I find with Christmas films the protagonist, or at least our primary protagonist, tends to be a female. I don't know why that is exactly. Usually if there's a male, they turn into a romantic lead. That's not necessarily the case here. While there are pockets of romance with certain characters, this is not a heavily romantic Christmas film. It's less about the romance of Christmas and more about learning the true value of, what's really important and what really matters. It's very humbling. It's very sweet. I think there's one moment that I thought was particularly emotional, but it's not an overly upsetting film. So for me, it kind of ticked all of the right boxes in terms of the emotions it delivered. It just made me feel warm and fuzzy. I wish there were more Christmas decorations in it, but we do have a lot of snow, and that for me is an essential in a Christmas film. Cast, very good. As far as I can remember, I was only previously aware of one person, that is Andie MacDowell, who plays Debbie, and she becomes kind of a confidant, maybe, not really the best word to describe her role. Ellen is played by Eliza Taylor, and Jake is played by Jake Lacy, and both their performances are great. I have absolutely no complaints. So the plot itself was good. The narrative development I thought was really good. It was quite witty at times. I think Jake's character, especially, is very likable. He's very easy to warm to, and I think he's probably my favourite character in the whole film. Ellen herself she's not kind of stereotypical in the sense that she's not actually this stuck-up wealthy woman from the city. She is, from the very beginning, a little bit more humbled. She's not completely naive to other people's struggles, but her character still goes on a journey to make it worthwhile. As I said, the only thing I kind of wish it had more of... Oh, it has a very nice soundtrack. I wish it had more, Christmas decorations. It's not completely void of them, but for me it was missing gift-wrapped presents and things. But Christmas Inheritance is a very enjoyable film. I definitely suggest you head to Netflix, either nearer Christmas or right now, as I think Christmas films are ideal for any time of the year.